Here are 7 mistakes you can make to guarantee that you stay stuck on porn for the rest of your life. Or if you don't want to stay stuck, avoid these things at all costs. Mistake number 1 is to rely completely on willpower. Promise yourself you're not going to look again. You white knuckle, hold on, try your best, don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look. And you and I both know how well that works. It's not going to work. It hasn't worked in the past. It's not going to work in the future. Willpower is not a plan. Let me give you one little plan for how to deal with that moment of temptation. It's called the BEST method, B-E-S-T. The B stands for breathe. When you notice a temptation, you take a few slow, deep breaths. This calms you down and gives your mind space to think clearly. Next is E, envision the future you. The future you who has quit completely and is thriving. What does that version of you feel like? Use that vision of yourself to fuel your future actions. The S stands for see or say. In other words, see or say the consequences if you do look right now, if you do give in to that temptation. How are you going to feel? Like, how is this going to affect your relationships? Try and see this in your mind or say it out loud. Why resisting now is going to make you so much happier. Finally, T stands for take action. And this means you've got to have a pre-planned thing that you can do in a moment's notice that doesn't take any more thought. So you have to have this action ready to go in advance. Some people have said that they'll get up and just do a set of push-ups wherever they're at, if they're in a position where they can do that, or write in a journal, or call a friend. It has to be something that doesn't have like a lot of setup or anything. I'll tell you, the thing that I do personally is I'll say a prayer in my mind and thank God for 5 things that he has done kind to somebody somewhere at some time. Could be recent, it could be back in far in history, whatever I can imagine. And that action works really well for me because it requires a little thought and creativity and a little work. And when I do it, that gets my head completely out of wherever it was going before. Whatever you want to do, just have something in advance ready to go that you can do in a moment. They say that it takes 1/3 of a second from when a thought gets in your head till when your emotions start going. 1/3 of a second. So the faster you can jump into this BEST method, the easier it's going to be and the less of a battle you're going to face. Again, the BEST method. B is for take a few slow, calm breaths. E, envision yourself if you resist. C or say the consequences if you don't resist. And then take action right away, T. The BEST method is one way to avoid temptations in the moment. Let me give you one other quick thing you can do. This one is for when your eyes stumble upon something that could be alluring to you. It could be a billboard. It could be something you scroll past on your phone. It could be somebody dressed in a way that you know could get your imagination going, whatever it is. Imagine that your eyes are like a rubber ball and they see that thing and they bounce right off and they don't return. Just bounce your eyes. Bounce them right off that thing and don't look again. You can practice this skill, you can get good at it, and it's going to save you a lot of trouble. All right, mistake number 2 you can make to stay stuck is to never set boundaries for yourself. Boundaries are things you do to put the temptation farther from you. Make it more difficult for you to go look at something you shouldn't. For example, if you struggle at night, you can't sleep or something, and you reach over, your phone's charging right there next to you, that can be avoided. Get that phone out of there. Charge it in the kitchen or the bathroom or somewhere. Just get it out. And that way, when you're struggling at night, the temptation comes, it's not there. You have more space. You have to walk farther to go get it. And so many times you won't. And think about what a victory it is. If this small act can help you from stumbling, you sleep better that night, it seems so insignificant. There's like that one little moment where you didn't give in because your phone wasn't right there. That one little moment makes such a big difference. And if you have to go get one of those old-fashioned alarm clocks because your phone's now out of the room, do it. Boundaries always feel inconvenient, but they always improve your life more than you thought they would. They always are better for more reasons than one. Here's the thing. Everybody has their own triggers. A trigger is a place or a situation or even an emotion that makes you want to go look at stuff you shouldn't. And we are creatures of habit. We fall into the same triggers over and over again. Triggers are like landmines. They sit there waiting for us to step on them and they hurt us again and again and again. And if you just pay attention, you can start learning where your triggers are, the times or the places or even the apps that cause you to stumble. Then once you've identified your triggers, put boundaries in place. The goal is to put as much space between you and the temptation as possible. Make it as hard for yourself to stumble again as you can. I'll give you a few examples. If you keep going places you shouldn't on your phone, then make it harder to get to those places on your phone. You can install a blocker like Bulldog Blocker, or better yet, accountability software that holds you accountable to another person for the things you do on there. That's very powerful. You can change your password into places. If Instagram keeps tripping you up, for example, you can unfollow those Instagram models, or better yet, delete Instagram completely from your device. The better boundary is the one that puts the most space between you and the problem. Unfollowing people on Instagram is not as good a boundary as getting Instagram out of your life completely. And I know getting Instagram out of your life completely is more daunting. It feels like more of a sacrifice, but it's going to bless your life more also. Unless your job depends on you being in Instagram, getting that thing out is going to save you more time and make you more productive, make you more confident, waste less time. It's just so much better. The more space you put between, the more it's going to make your life better in the end. I'll give you one more example of boundaries. I have a friend who used to get in a lot of trouble when he would go on business trips. So he set a boundary for himself that he won't go on business trips unless his wife goes with him. That felt like a huge sacrifice to him, because there's times when he doesn't get to do something in his job and he gets passed over for some stuff sometimes. But the difference it's made to his family and his marriage, it blessed his life in so many ways that it's more than paid itself back. So don't be afraid to set your boundaries bigger. Be a little extreme about it, and it's going to be better. It's going to be worth it, I promise you. Okay, mistake number 3 to stay stuck forever is to live in a world of excuses. Make sure you're always blaming somebody else. Keep telling yourself that it's not your fault, that you can't change, it's too hard, no one's ever gonna understand, you're a victim, all that stuff. And you know what? It's easy to do because you can find bits of truth in there. There are elements, maybe someone showed you porn when you were a kid, and that wasn't your fault what they did, right? So just lean into all those excuses. And this is a good way to guarantee that you will stay stuck forever. If you want to quit, then you need to take responsibility for the things that you are responsible for. Yeah, you can't control what other people did in the past or even what you did in the past, but you can control what you do now. Nobody likes pointing the finger at themselves. But the thing about excuses is that they make you a helpless victim. And when you blame someone else, you're giving your power away. When you take responsibility, you take back the power to change. Mistake number 4 to stay stuck is to quit almost all the way, but still hold on to just a little bit. So lock eyes with every racy billboard or pop-up on your phone and tell yourself it's just curiosity. Tell yourself you're gonna quit the really explicit stuff, but still gawk at somebody in exercise clothes, or give yourself permission to scroll social media, just hoping to catch a glimpse of something provocative. One reason why this mistake keeps you stuck so thoroughly is because it's so easy to excuse. No one's gonna call that other stuff porn. You can excuse this all day. And the fact that you're looking is gonna get those hormones going, it's gonna get the temptation, it's gonna get you charged up, and you'll be back to looking at that explicit stuff in no time. So the truth is, if you want to quit porn, you have to go all in. The difference between quitting 100% and quitting 98%, the difference is not 2%. The difference is night and day. You can't quit most of the way. And it's helpful to remember the definition of porn is that anything that is sexually alluring to you, any media that is sexually alluring to you, is porn to you. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It may not be porn to them, that's fine, that's them. But if it's alluring to you, it is porn to you. And you can't just quit most, because it will keep coming back. The way to quit this stuff is to commit 100%. If you're afraid, yeah, but I've committed in the past and I stumbled back into it again, I messed up again, that's okay. Grant Cardone talked about how he had a drug addiction, and he said he quit drugs every day for 10 years. And finally, one day, he quit for real. And he said, did those other times that he quit, Was there anything special about the time that he quit for real? And would he have quit for real if he hadn't quit those other times? Those commitments he made along the way were part of his eventual success. I hope it doesn't take you 10 years. It probably won't. But however long it takes, commit today that you're going to quit 100%. And then if you have to make that commitment again tomorrow, do it. Life is a series of recommitments. Mistake number 5 to keep you stuck is believe the lies. There's a bunch of these lies that we hear or that we tell ourselves to justify continuing to look at porn. Here's a few of them. Oh, porn's not going to affect me. Porn makes you better in bed. Nobody will ever know. Porn doesn't hurt anybody. Or one that I've heard from a lot of young men, I'll quit when I'm married. We did a series of comical videos on these. I'll link to it. But if you do want to quit porn, then lean into the truth. How it really makes you feel afterward. What it really does to your relationships. What kind of person it will turn you into if you keep looking. And what kind of person you can be if you stop. Then if you catch one of these lies in your head, call it out. Tell it. Say that this is a lie and tell yourself what the real truth is. By the way, if you're finding this video helpful, please like and share. Our mission is to make it so that every person on earth who is trying to get free from this stuff will know how to do it. And if you like and share, that tells the algorithm to show it to more people. Thank you. Mistake number 6 to stay stuck is to give up when it gets difficult. Because, it's so easy to tell yourself, I can't do it, it's too hard. Just give me that stuck for life trophy and I can go be a victim because I can't do it. That's all not true. You can quit. You can change. You are not powerless. You can do this. It's going to take work. It's going to take recommitments. It's going to take getting out of your comfort zone, but you can change. And everything is on the line. Going back to the best method earlier, what is your life going to look like in the future if you get this garbage out of your life? And what is your life going to look like if you don't? These are both very real possibilities for you. You can stay stuck forever if you don't choose to make the changes you need to. And you can quit forever if you decide to make the changes you need to. The choice is yours. You have the power. If you choose to do everything in your power, as weak as you may feel, you're going to do your best, and you're going to keep picking yourself up when you fall. If you make that choice, you will succeed. You will win. If you don't make that choice, if you give up, you will fail. The choice is yours. You have the power. Choose to succeed. Choose right now. I'm going to do what it takes. I'm going to quit right now, and you'll have to make that commitment again and again and again and make it again and again and again, as many times as it takes. You've got this. Don't wait till tomorrow to commit. There will be new excuses tomorrow. Commit right now, and then commit again tomorrow. Commit. You're going to do 100% everything in your power to stop this problem. And if you do that and keep committing, I promise you, you will succeed. Our final mistake, number 7, to stay stuck forever is to take your secret to the grave. Never tell a soul, because nobody would ever understand, right? You are the only person on planet Earth who ever is tempted to look at porn, right? Wrong. The truth is, many, many people have this same struggle that you do. This temptation is like a cockroach infestation. It thrives in the dark. It hates the light. And it's going to keep telling you in your mind all the wrong reasons why you shouldn't tell a soul, why you should keep this to yourself, rely on willpower, all this baloney, to keep you stuck. The best way to fight this thing is to bring another person into the struggle. You need to find one other person. And you don't have to go into all the gory details. They just need to understand what you're dealing with. And you need to be able to be totally open with that one person. You don't have to tell the whole world, just one person. You may be afraid that that one person will judge you or think badly of you. And you know what? In all my years of helping people with this, I've never heard of that happening. In fact, I hear the opposite. When someone finally opens up and says, I'm struggling and can you help me? I hear appreciation and I hear respect. It's an honorable thing to do, to admit you have a weakness. We all have weaknesses. Instead of trying to cover it up, be straight up with it. I have this weakness, and the other person is going to respect you more. And let me just strike one more blow against that lie that comes into all of our heads that says we're going to take the secret to the grave. You can't. You cannot keep this secret hidden forever. Everything comes out eventually, and it comes out in the worst possible time. I've heard story after story of a wife who found out about her husband's porn problem when she was like going into labor or like the worst possible time. That's how it goes. Like you can choose to open up to somebody else, or it's going to come out in the worst moment. It just happens that way. So choose to be open with somebody. And I want to make this as easy for you as I can. The easiest way I know how to be open with another person is with accountability software. Because if you're like most people, the place you struggle is on one of these or on a computer. And so you put Ever Accountable on that device and it holds you accountable. Then if you end up going places you know you ought not, you're going to have a conversation with that other person you've chosen. Just knowing that you're accountable is a huge motivation to stay away from places you don't want to go. It shines the light. It opens up these conversations you can start having with people. Like, here's my triggers, and here's the boundaries I've set for myself. And you can start strengthening yourself. You can start making great progress toward getting this garbage out of your life. Get accountability software. And as a bonus, if you sign up for Ever Accountable, we're also going to give you 3 months of access to Live Free. This is a community of people who are all dealing with this exact same thing. You can talk to them, you can be open with them, they're open with you, everybody keeps confidences. If you don't have that one person to be open with, this is a great way to find that person. All right, to recap, and here's the 7 things you can do to keep porn out of your life. Number 1, you need a better plan than willpower. Number 2, pay attention to where your triggers are and then set boundaries around those triggers to keep them as far from you as possible. Number 3 is take responsibility for the things that you can control. Number 4, quit all the way, 100%. Commit to it and do it again. Number 5 is believe the lies. Number 6, commit that you will quit. And if you stumble tomorrow, commit again tomorrow. Keep recommitting. And number 7, tell somebody what you're going through. Be totally open with at least one other person. You can choose to get this garbage out of your life. You can take real action now and defeat this thing and live the life you've always wanted. Or you can keep putting it off till later and stay stuck. The choice is yours, and it's a no-brainer. Get accountable. You got this.